We're back with the Colonel Crawford portion of tonight's Coach's Corner East here at the Pizza Hut in Galleon on this Wednesday, September 9th. Glad to have you aboard. We're brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your Galleon Community Center YMCA, Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street in Bucyrus, Rod Steiger and Associates at the Pizza Hut here at Galleon, and now newly opened in Bucyrus, our host since 1992. I'd like to welcome to our show tonight defensive coordinator Brett Degray from Colonel Crawford. And Coach, thanks for coming out, bringing your guys out tonight. And last week, absolutely, last week when Coach Teglovic was here, I opened the show and said, we're the home of iconic rock. We play a lot of Aerosmith. And I said, at that time, it was the train kept a rolling was kind of the theme for Colonel Crawford after your win at Smithville. And I thought about preparing for this week, and again, I'm going to use an Aerosmith song that says, same old story, same old song and dance. You get another win, you get more running clock, and you just keep on rolling. Talk about how proud you are, not only of the offense, but your defense as well.
I'm extremely proud of the kids this year. I mean, we had some returning starters coming back. And those kids have obviously kept that ball rolling, but the ones that have stepped up, the sophomores and juniors that didn't play varsity last year, that have stepped into those roles, those open spots, and just hit the ground running. And it's been an outstanding year so far.
You defeat Cardington 65-6, and their head coach Todd, is it Brinninger?
Yes.
Todd Bringer stated physically they just beat us up. We couldn't do anything with their offensive and defensive lines. They opened the game with a scoring drive, a 60-yard run by junior Aiden Plowman, and it was 6-0 Cardington with 9:34 left in the first quarter. They get a 3-and-out on your offense, but from there, it was all downhill for the Pirates and all uphill for you guys.
I was proud of how we made some corrections. I mean, that touchdown, we gave up that 60-yard run, but then the rest of the game we gave up, I think, a total of another 65 yards for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So, we made corrections and staying home on the counter play, and from that point on, I mean, the defense was lights out. And I'm proud of the defensive line. That's where we filled some of those holes that I was talking about. But our back seven, I honestly believe, can play with anybody.
You were right, Cardington, only 79 yards of total offense and 5 turnovers. The thing that I notice week after week as I've looked at the statistics and things like that, some teams are really great at offense. Some teams are really great at defense. Some teams are very opportunistic on special teams. You seemingly have it all. Talk about the entire package.
We pride ourselves on preparing offensively, defensively, special teams. I mean, there's not too many teams in the area that spend an entire day just working special teams. And that's usually our Wednesday in practice. I mean, we still work our offense and defense on that day, but we make sure we take that extra step to make sure that we put that extra effort in, and we make sure we have those kids prepared in that area. And I honestly think that separates us from a lot of teams.
Senior Lincoln Mollenkoff just keeps on rolling. He had 16-yard touchdown, 1-yard touchdown, 40 yards touchdown. Cam Lower to Carter Valentine, who's back, 34-yard touchdown, and then Matt Clinard, 14-yard run that allowed you to have a 35-6 lead with 5:30 left in the half. And then Jacob Aubrey returned a fumble for a touchdown. Braxton Morton, field goal, rounded out the first half, 45-6. And just like the previous 2 weeks, you have a running clock at halftime. Does that put some peace into you and your entire coaching staff to say, as much as we'd like to get these kids work, they put in enough work, we're now developing young kids with the Friday night experience?
It does. It's nice to be able to get those young bodies on the field and get them that experience. But on the other hand, too, I mean, I know a lot of our upperclassmen they want to play. They want to get that 4-quarter experience, and we're going to get that this week. I mean, this is easily one of the top challenges we're going to see on our schedule this year. Carrie's got an outstanding team, and I think our kids have approached it the last several weeks with the attitude that they've gotten themselves ready, and we're ready to go.
That's my point, because they're going to have to probably play a whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Are they ready both mentally and physically to be able to stand up?
I believe we are.
Okay.
We'll find out Friday night.
Absolutely. It's going to come in about 2 days. Second half, Micah Thomas with a TD run, Michael Walsh TD run, Lucas Foy to Brady Hill, TD pass late. Again, Lincoln Malikoff, 183 yards rushing. Rohr was 5 of 11 passing for 76, added another 41 rushing. And talk about special teams. Braxton Morton, 8 of 8 extra points and a 25-yard field goal.
That's outstanding.
Guy's automatic. I mean, the Browns, they may need him.
And with that, on top of that, was our blocking was outstanding up front to make sure that he was able to get those kicks off. So, I mean,
Absolutely. And after 3 games, you've gained over 1,200 yards. You're averaging over 400 a game. Is there, I mean, you're only 3 games in. You haven't hit the climax yet. What is the limit for this offense? And how good is this defense?
well, I don't want to put a limit on what we can do. I mean, we can throw the ball, we can run the ball, obviously. But defensively, I mean, like I said, the back 7 that we have, I think can play with anybody in the league. Now we're going to be tested this week and in the weeks to come. But I'm very impressed with those kids, and every week that defensive line is getting better and better.
Good to hear. We are brought to you in part by Don Barr & Associates at the Galleon Building and Loan Bank, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia, 1 mile east of the Richland Mall, Mark Osborne & Associates at E-Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galleon Industrial Park. Around the table we go with the players from Colonel Crawford High School tonight. First up, we have Cy Bell. And hi, Cy. Thanks for coming out tonight. You are a junior, correct?
Yes, sir.
Position on the team?
Center.
Center. So you got to get the ball back to Cam.
Oh, yeah.
You don't run a ton of shotgun, right? A little bit? Or?
A little bit. We mix it in.
Yep. Do you prefer the shotgun, or do you like him to be under and do a direct snap? Do you care one way or the other?
It doesn't really matter to me. I prefer just pounding it under center. That's the way I like it.
Yep.
I like just get the dude across from me, get it right to him.
I would think that's got to be one of the toughest positions on the football field, because your first priority is to get the ball to your quarterback.
I feel like it is. I mean, if I mess up, whole play. Nobody's job matters after if I mess up.
That great point. You kind of start the whole show, but you also likely may have someone right over top of you or someone crashing down on you. You got to get that mindset of got to get the snap back and then I got to take action. Has that been difficult for you?
I mean, I was new to center this year, but I mean, we worked all summer on it. I feel like I got it down now. I mean, we're just ready to go.
I asked Coach what the limit was on the offense, and it all starts up front. Let's give the linemen credit. The skilled athletes can do what they do.
That's all I like to hear.
But you gotta have blocking. If there's no blocking, you're just kind of stuck in mud. Where is the limit for this offensive group?
There is no limit.
Okay.
We'll keep going until there's a running clock. Is what we're going to keep doing.
Adversity is going to come at some point, Cy. How do you handle adversity? When things aren't going as easy as they've gone. Now what?
We're just going to scrap up and keep going like we have gone, and you're just going to keep going. With the whole Coach Tag thing, that's kind of been the mentality all year. You're just going to keep going, no matter what.
All right, very good. Well, good luck this week. It's going to be a
Thank
tough
you.
one. Looking forward to it for sure. Derek Horsley's up next to junior as well. In fact, they're all juniors tonight. Derek, thanks for coming out tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Position on the team?
Receiver and corner.
Receiver and corner, okay. Have you personally, have you been more impressed with your offense or defense?
I'd have to say the offense, just because you got a new quarterback back there.
Yep.
New guys rotating in, and Cam's doing an amazing job this year so far, and he's just going to keep that up.
So you look at all the guys that graduated last year, what a talented offense, and you think, God, how are we going to, how do we replace those guys? And you're just doing it.
Yep.
Where does that stem from? Where does that come from?
Oh, all of our summers, everything in the off season, all the work that all the guys put in, it adds up, and on Friday nights it shows.
Something's different for any team that plays football when they leave a non-league schedule and go into a league schedule. Now you're playing for a league championship, you're playing for hardware, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depends how you look at it, you get to face who the media believe was going to win the conference all along in Cary, and you got to go on the road. Do you welcome that as a player?
I mean, you definitely had that in your head going into the game that the media is against you, but we're going to do what we got to do and get the job done.
And I'm sure you're just looking forward to it. It can't get here fast enough. Right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, good luck and have a great game. Certainly look forward to the results of that. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Matt Clinard. Is it Clinard or Clinard?
Clinard.
Clinard. Okay, I was close. Matt, you scored a touchdown the other night. Was that your first of the year?
I think so, yes.
Okay. This offense, it's got to be fun, not only on games, but in practice as well. Is Coach Bruner, is he coming up with new things every week and kind of tweaking, or are you just saying, let's stick to our bread and butter and do what we do well?
We work in new formations and plays week by week as we progress in the season. It's definitely helping and showing on Friday nights.
You've been really pretty run happy when you got a guy like Lincoln Molikoff that's toting the ball a lot. That's kind of who you want to be. Do you really think, and nobody, I don't think they get YouTube and Cary, so you don't have to worry about watching it, so you don't have to say anything that they won't hear. Do you think you're going to have to change up much, or you think you're going to be okay?
Oh, we'll be fine.
You can stick to what you are, your identity, and not really have to change. What's the biggest key to victory that you see?
We have to keep aggressive and we have to out-physical guys.
Yeah, and they're a physical team. They will bring it. They will bring it. Well, enjoy this weekend. Have a lot of fun, and thanks for stopping out tonight. Next up, we have Eli Brewer. Hi, Eli.
Good.
Good. What position on the team?
Strong tackle.
Strong tackle. We talked about the skill guys, and Cy said there's no limit. Matt said there's no limit. Do you believe that too? Is it kind of a concept that you all believe that?
Yeah, I think there's no limit.
Yeah. So where has this group gotten stronger from week 1 to week 3, now going into week 4?
I just feel like we've been putting in the work and on practice and stuff, like getting better with the blocks and all that stuff.
You're probably going to see a much more aggressive, much more hard-hitting defense that will probably kind of figuratively smack you in the mouth a little bit. What do you think that response is going to be when you're in the huddle and say, well, this isn't the way it's been the first 3 weeks. We got to giddy up. How's that response going to be?
I just feel like we got to stick to our rules and try to get lower and use our feet.
Do you feel the intensity picks up a little bit when league comes around? It's a little different because you're playing guys you know?
Yeah.
And do you mind going on the road for a big game like this, or are you okay with it?
I'm okay with it, yeah.
All right, wherever they play, right? All right, well, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Good luck. Finally, Tanner Dyer is a junior as well. Hi, Tanner. Position on the team? Fullback. What is your role with Colonel Crawford being a fullback? Do you get many touches, or are you there to run people over and open up holes?
I get a little bit of touches on Friday night when we blow the teams out.
So you're getting a few touches, but would you like more, or are you just happy doing your 111?
I would always like more touches.
Yeah, right. That's what most skill guys say. They, hey, give me as many as you can. Are you playing on the defensive side or not?
I play linebackers.
Okay, which one? Mike, Sam?
Both of them.
Both, okay. Do you prefer one side of the ball over another? If Coach Bruner or the rest of the staff called on you Friday night and said, hey, listen, what? I'm here to tell you, Tanner, things aren't working with Lincoln. We're going to have you tote the ball. You ready to go?
Yep.
You ready to step up and answer the bell?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Well, good luck to you. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. We are brought to you in part by Stephen Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer, Uptown Galleon and Crestline, Marie Mounts at the Platinum Insurance Agency, your progressive agent, 131 Harding Way East here in Galleon, and Joe Kleiman Associates at the Galleon office of First Federal Bank of Ohio. Back to defensive coordinator Brett Degray filling in for Ryan Teglovic tonight. And Coach, first thing before we get to that, I did see your JV suffer their first defeat, 46-23 against Seneca East.
Yes.
What was that game like?
It was a tough game for them. I mean, it was back and forth early on, but I mean, those kids kept fighting all the way through. So I'm proud of them. They're coming along. We've had some injuries, so they've got a few more freshmen that are playing on that schedule, but it's okay. It's good for those kids to play and get that experience. So
With the
they'll rally back.
Yeah, with the fact that so many are getting maybe, I don't know if a whole half, but a quarter at least on Friday. Is the tank a little empty come around Saturday morning that maybe that affected it a little bit or not so much?
It can be tough for them, but I think our kids are strong. They rally for that. They enjoy playing those games. It's their opportunity to shine.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we mentioned, Northern 10 Conference play starts Friday night. You leave Gary Field, head to Wyandotte County to face a very, very talented Cary team that got beat by a very good Hopewell Loudon team week 1, rebounded against your friend Coach Dick and the Galleon Tigers over here with a late rally, and blew out Toledo Waite last week 51-6. And some of the highlights I've seen, these guys look ready to play.
Physicality is the name of the game. I mean, we have to match what they're going to bring to the table up front. I mean, they've got an outstanding quarterback that can run the ball and throw the ball. They've got 3 running backs that can carry the ball. Their offensive line is big and athletic. They can move. But I mean, with all that, I think the kids that we have that are going to match up against them, I think we got the same thing that can match that. So, what it always comes down to who's going to make the least amount of mistakes.
That's right.
And who can own the line of scrimmage on both offense and defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And they probably have some things in their locker room that says 16-7, which was the score last year. They probably haven't forgotten about that. Week 1, right? It was right out of the gate because of the COVID thing. You mentioned their quarterback, Derek Lonsway, second leading rusher in the N10 with 127 yards per game. The horse, Jordan Vallejo, the running back, second in the Northern 10 in scoring with 36 points. Landon Kemmerly, third in the Northern 10 with 22 tackles.
And he's really good on offense, too.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just their mindset. They just play hard, tough, physical football.
Always have.
And you're right. They always have, and they're going to do it again. They're averaging 288 yards per game, 198 on the ground, but they're giving up 217. You talk about the line of scrimmage being key. So these guys that are on the line, you got a lot of weight on your shoulders coming up this week, and it's in a tough environment. Let's face it, going over there with their fan base with a crucial game, it's going to be something like you guys haven't seen all year, but I'm sure that you all welcome that. You've talked about that, and you're ready to go. You've talked about the keys. It should be a great football game.
It should be. I'm excited for these guys to get in that type of environment, to get in a 4-quarter game and fight and see how they respond. You know, I mean, sometimes in life you have to get punched in the mouth.
That's right.
And it's how you come back and respond after that happens.
And I'm allowed to talk about this because I'm in the media. I'm sure you don't want to talk about it. But it's games like this, it's environments like this that prepare you for postseason.
Yes.
Now, postseason's not guaranteed, pretty likely with the start that you've had. But do you welcome that this early in the season to kind of build that character and to say, let's get prepared for this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to get those games in early on so you can build off of that as you go through the season. So it's one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time. That's how you have to approach it every single week.
Very good. Well, good luck, guys. Thanks for coming out. I'll throw one more Aerosmith reference. I hope Friday night after the game, it's Sweet Emotion for you guys, the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Thanks so much for coming out.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with Johnny King and the Crestline Bulldogs right after this.